everybody. It's Thursday. Happy New Year. And are you a woman 40 plus who feels desperate? You feel isolated? You feel as though you're doing everything for everyone and you're not chasing your dreams and desires. And maybe you're somebody who's stuck in fear and doubt. Well, that is why I am going to come on here every Thursday at 12 o'clock noon. I changed my time to come on every Thursday instead of Wednesday because Wednesday was filling up with other things. And so I thought Thursday makes a difference for me, a change for me. And it's always good to change things up in our lives because what ends up happening is then we rewire our brain to do something different, to think differently. So, if you are a woman who wants to make changes in your life, you are tired of being in fear, isolation, doubt, uncertainty, you do not know how to make decisions, and you feel as though your whole life is just taking care of other people and not doing what you want to do, chasing your dreams and desires, then this is the Thursday at 12 p.m. coaching time for you. And maybe you're at work and you can take 30 minutes to eat your lunch and listen to this live. But every single Thursday at 12 o'clock, I wrote this down. I help women move from fear into grounded confidence using real life coaching, real life stories, and practical tools. And and just in case you don't know me, I'm Melissa K. Range, igniter of change, and I have been mentoring and coaching people for about 15 years now. And I've done lots of different kinds of coaching, money coaching, spiritual coaching, mental emotional coaching, not like a therapist. And so if you need a therapist, go and find one because therapists can be fabulous counselors to help you with some of those things that they are professionally trained in. But I have a lot of certifications, and my whole dream in life really has been around helping women become empowered, to step into their power, to step into their authentic voice, to step into those places where they know that they need to. Title of this video says, Let Go. Let go of something in their life, your life, that you know is done serving you. You've learned that lesson, and we all come here for specific lessons. And sometimes those lessons they show up over and over and over and over because we haven't understood why the lesson's here. What do I need to learn? And I know this is true because I've had many clients over the years who knew they wanted something or knew they wanted to let go of something, but they didn't have somebody to kind of walk with them, to facilitate or guide them through it. And they knew, like, they kept hearing the call over and over. Have you ever had that kind of experience where you're hearing the call to change something, to transform, to do something in your life? And that is why I love working with people, mentoring people. And actually, I created a program for women because I wanted people to chase their dreams and go after things in their lives that they wanted, and not to let fear or doubt or self sabotage or anything else or money stop them from going forward and doing what their intuition is telling them to do. And that is one of the key parts of the framework that I teach. And the framework that I teach, and you can go listen to one of my other videos, I did a more in depth talk around this, is reclaim your power, rebuild your intuition, and restore grace to your life by taking action. And that's a simple little way that you can begin to shift and change things in your life. So it is a new calendar year. And I did a video last week, and for some reason, it never processed. So we're just going to revisit those things that I talked about last week. And one of those things is this is a new calendar year. And most of the time, people who are in the 3D and people who think I'm going to set a resolution, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat differently. I'm going to not do such and such. They put those resolutions down, and the majority of people don't end up following through with those resolutions long term. And this is because they don't have either a regimen in place, they don't have the neural pathways that are shifting due to what they're bringing into their life to change it. They don't have support. They don't have the confidence to keep it up. And I studied with a subconscious mind coach, a brain coach for many years. And if you don't repeat and do and go after and change that habit or that whatever that thing is that you want, if you don't continue to remind yourself every day and show up for yourself and have a support system in place, it's a high probability that you're going to quit or that you're going to let go of that thing and not pursue what you want to pursue. And it can be really challenging. And especially if you want it really bad, but you just in your mind, you think, I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to. Have you ever felt like that? I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to be able to accomplish that. I have. I for sure have. I think those thoughts sometimes. And what do I do though? In that few seconds, I try to shift that thought or I try to step into an action that can help solidify that I am going to get there, that I am going to accomplish what I'm going to accomplish. And I keep showing up, even if I feel like I'm failing or it's not working, I just keep showing up. I just keep doing the do because when I do that, one day or over time, something will shift and I will get what I desire. I will get it. I will be able to have it. I will put in the work, put in the hours to get there. So, back to why I am going to be coming on here every Thursday is that I would love for you, as a woman 40 plus, to bring me what kind of things in your life are going on because I want to do this coaching with you and I will have little slots of time where I will spend time if you want to put a question in the chat about something. Maybe you are in a relationship that's you're struggling with, or maybe you are in a job that you really can't stand, or maybe you want to chase this dream of going after something in your life and you're thinking, what's the first step that I need to take? What do I need to do to get that thing that I want? But it's also about letting go of the things that we think we still need or desire or want that maybe we just know they're not for us anymore. And in this photo that I put on my page for my thumbnail, I put a picture of me standing on a termite mound. And these termite mounds in Africa some of them are over 2,000 years old. And I wanted to stand on one to say, oh my gosh, I stood on a termite mound. And the termite mound for me signified I'm in Africa. I did something I was really afraid to do by myself, go all the way across the world by myself to meet complete strangers in a foreign land. But I did it. And standing on that termite mound really high in the air made me feel as though I had accomplished something really big. And this is a key component too to something that we don't do in our lives is we don't celebrate ourselves enough. We don't celebrate our accomplishments even when they're small. And so if you are doing something in your life, you're going for a goal or a desire, how do you celebrate yourself? What do you do to say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I made it this far, that I did that thing I was so afraid to do?" And once again, we let lack of confidence, lack of support, and lack of money sabotage us, or we think those things, and then we don't go after what we want or let go of something. And I've been over this. I have many videos on my YouTube channel. You can go listen kind of to the evolution of my life and how I got from where I was in a very, very, very unhappy, very emotionally, mentally abusive marriage to where I am now, where I have worked through and healed and changed and gone after so many of the things in my life that I was guided to do. And you can learn about my evolution, but I chased what I wanted, and I would hear something in my intuition and I would think, well, I guess that's something I'm supposed to do. But the majority of the time, people think that they're not hearing things correctly, or they think I could never do that. And, or they don't have the support, or they don't want to spend the money. And this is very typical of women because this is a true statistic that 50% of women do not chase their dreams or desires, or do not, for example, leave a relationship or a job or whatever because of these things. They don't feel the support, they don't feel the confidence, and they also don't think that they have the money, or they don't have the money at that moment and don't think it's going to show up for them. And that's truly where my heart lies, is helping women to step into leadership roles, first of all and foremost within themselves. So they can feel like, wow, I really am bold. Wow, I really am a leader in my life. Wow, I really can do things that I didn't think I can do. And wow, there are other women out there who want things that I want. And we have to want that thing. We have to really want that thing. That is really where the universe is going to start helping and supporting us and bringing in the people, places, and things to help us achieve what we desire. And you really have to want it. And you really have to believe in your heart. And sometimes that takes a while. It takes years for us to build that belief. And it is stepping into those scary places. It is stepping in to things that maybe we think we can't do. And that is why I want to do this every week on Thursdays at 12 p.m. is come on here and help you with maybe just one small thing that you want to accomplish in your life. Because of all the people I've mentored, watching them transform, watching them go after and get what they want has been so amazing for me to watch, because it's like, and I'll give you an example. I coached this man a couple of years ago. He's a financial advisor, and we found each other through financial advising. He was my advisor because he was my father and mother's advisor. And we just had an instant connection. And over time, he said, I want to work with you, Melissa. I want you to mentor me. And I want to do some spiritual mentoring with you. And so we did. Well, what ended up happening was he became more successful in his work. And on top of that, he started to delve into areas of his life and read and research and do all of this stuff, and then he stopped doing that FA job and he actually became a different advisor at a different bank. I actually think he became like the president of this bank. They recruited him. And then all of a sudden, a few months ago, he reaches out to me and he says, I have always wanted to be in social work, doing social work and doing counseling. And he said, and he's in his 50s now. And he said, and you're the one who opened me up to that, because I pushed him to be on my podcast because I had a podcast. And I said, you need to be on my podcast. And he was so afraid and he did not want to do it. And I said, but you have to. I'm going to push you to do it because we need your wisdom. We need your wisdom out in the world. We need your spiritual experience and your wisdom. And so he ended up coming on my podcast and it just blew him open. It just blew him open to do that. And so now I actually wrote a reference for him, a recommendation letter to the college that he just applied for, so he could go back to school and get his counseling degree so that he could do counseling, which is what his heart really desires. And that is what I love about this work. It's like we all have dreams, desires, goals. Again, it's the start of the new calendar year, which I don't really follow. I don't make resolutions. The true, real new year comes on the spring equinox, when we are coming out of the darkness. That is the true calendar, well, not calendar year. That is the true cyclical year when we are in the darkness for 6 months and then we're in the light for 6 months. That is really the way Mother Nature kind of works. And I like to follow that versus following the calendar year. And resolutions, most people don't, well, a lot of people don't set resolutions anymore because they don't work and people don't end up following them. And then what ends up happening? We feel guilt and shame because, oh, again, once again, I didn't do what I said I was going to do. And I told my Aunt Mary that I was going to lose 20 pounds by, June. And I was going to show up at the gym and I had a plan. And then I didn't follow through and I didn't do it except for 6 weeks or a month or whatever. So, the majority of us, it's very hard and challenging to change this stuff. That's why it's a practice. It's a practice. And I'm going to right now share with you, especially if you're a woman 40 plus and you have felt desperate, isolated, in self-doubt, you feel like you're taking care of everyone and everything, and you're not taking care of you. You're not doing for you what you wanted to do with your life at this point, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's where I was when I was in my marriage. And I created a women's program, and it's called Find Your Fire. And I created this program because of what I was experiencing in my life years ago. And I didn't have a program like this where I knew that I didn't want to be in my marriage, but I thought I was stuck forever. And I thought that nothing was ever going to change. I had lost all of my confidence and I thought this is where I'm going to be for the next 40 years and this is it. This is my life and so ho hum, I'm just going to have to deal with it. And that made me very sad. It made me very sad. I was very sad. And I reached a place where I was really in dislike of myself and I was really in dislike of my spouse. And I didn't know what to do. And one of the first tools that I used, and I'll give you this tool today. This is a very simple tool you can do was I started to meditate. I started to meditate. Well, before that, even, I started to write my goals down every single day. I started reading books that were about self achievement, self help, self growth from some men in the world. And, there's lots of great books out there, but I started to practice what they were talking about. So I started to write my goals every single day. I would wake up before my family. I would write the goals down in notebooks and I would write them over and over and over every single day. This is kind of how I began. And none of it I didn't think maybe would ever come true. But according to these people, they said if you write it down and if you write it down every day, you will get there. And I don't know if any of you have heard of the 369 methodology. I would look that up, 369. But mine were based on what Jack Canfield said and what Brian Tracy said and that's where I began. That is where I began my journey. Well, fast forward, I created this program for women a couple of years ago because I wanted women to have tools and resources that they could rely upon to help go after something in their life that they wanted to shift or change or let go of or pursue. Because again, women put ourselves on the bottom of the list. We make ourselves last. We take care of everyone and everything before ourselves. And I did that. I had done that. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. And so I started to change. And that's why I created this program. It's a 5 module program, it's an evergreen program. You can do it anytime on your computer from anywhere in the world. And you can go to my website at www.reclaimrebuildrestore.com to find that program, Find Your Fire. It's all about finding your fire after maybe you've been unhappy and felt desperate, isolated, in self doubt, because I want women to go out there and feel bold and feel beautiful and feel full of self love. And that's why I created it. That was my intention. And so, if you are somebody at this stage of your life and you're looking for a way to definitely make changes, to start thinking about yourself first. You have to take care of yourself first. You know that saying when we're on an airplane, put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then your neighbor? That is exactly what we have to do. Exactly. And I'm going to push you to do that. And so, again, every Thursday at 12 p.m., I'm going to come on here on YouTube and I am going to say, does anybody have a question about getting, some coaching, or you want to know, because I'm also highly intuitive. I actually have done Akashic readings for many years and I would read people's Akashic records. But I want to help you all if you're in a space where you feel stuck, where you feel like my life is never going to change, because I want you to know you're not alone and that there are tools, resources, ways, manners, everything to get you out of that space. And that space is a teacher. That space is a teacher. One of the things I'm trying to do now is I'm a professional speaker, and one of the things I'm trying to do is incorporate how in my talk, and I haven't thought of how I'm going to do it yet, how fear is a teacher. Fear is a teacher because you can say, forget everything and run. That's an acronym for fear. And you can use the F word if you want. F everything and run. You can do that. Or you can listen to your fear and you can face everything and rise. So you can do one or the other. You can forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. Fear is a teacher. And in my thumbnail, I put let go of this, let go of it. What do you need to let go of? What has done its job serving you? A relationship, a job, a person, place, or thing, where you live. You've been listening or hearing in your heart, oh, I don't want to live in this space anymore, in this place, in this state, in this country. Where do I want to go? Where does my heart call me? What does my heart tell me to do? And then you have to listen to that over and over and over every day as you pursue restoring that grace to your life, going after what you want, because that is truly how life works. It's about following the breadcrumbs. It's about tracking your life. It's about going after what your heart and soul calls you to do, because we do have an agenda, I think, when we come here. I really do. I think there's kind of like a plan or an agenda, and we're really supposed to follow that for certain, for a reason. And, but we're not meant to struggle and suffer. So fear is a teacher. Fear can teach you, where do I need to change? What do I want to change about myself? And this is a really big part of my mission here, you all. This is a really big part of why I do what I do in the world, is that I want things to be different for those people in my life and in my community and in the world, because I want to change those within me so that my lineage changes. And there's a lot of women that I personally know out there doing the work like I do, because they want to see a shift in their lineage. So, for example, and this is what I mean when I say this, maybe you are a woman who has put up with domestic abuse or abuse in your life in some way, shape, or form for many years. You're that woman. And your mom put up with that, and her mom put up with that, and her mom put up with that. So if you don't shift that, if you don't do the inner work to put a stop to that abuse, whatever it may look like, if you don't do something to change that inner belief that you are unworthy, that you are not enough, that you don't matter, that it's okay for your partner, whatever, to abuse you, and whatever that looks like. If you don't take a stand and change that, then most likely what's going to occur is it's going to continue down the line. And if you have children, those children will experience the same sort of abuse, the same sort of treatment that you've been receiving. And this is why I do what I do, is because I don't want that to go down the line. And I have my own experiences, and it doesn't have to be something maybe as traumatic as that. It can be something about your beliefs around money. It can be something around your beliefs around your physical body. Whatever it is, if you don't truly start doing the work and start listening and start doing the do, making a change, shifting that energy, then it's going to continue going down the line. And this is so important, you all. I cannot stress. And I didn't know this is what I was going to talk about today. But this is the work I've been doing, and I noticed something in my children in the past few days that I can see why the lineage on their father's side is the way it is. And I expressed this to them. And so it's extremely important. It's extremely vital. What's that saying? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Well, it starts with you. I've been saying this for like 16, 17 years. It's an inside job. And so, if some way, somehow you can let go of those disempowering beliefs, those things that keep you stuck, those areas that continue to sabotage you, and you all, this is not a one day thing, okay? This is the example I use all the time. If you want to go to the gym and you want to get in shape and you want to have a fit, toned, healthy body, you don't go to the gym for one day or a week or a month. You got to go over and over and over and over. And in order to keep that fit, toned body, that healthy body, you're going to have to go. If you want that fit, toned body for the rest of your life, you're most likely going to have to go to the gym or do some sort of physical activity. And the way you eat and the way what you put in your body and how you take care of it, you're going to have to do that over and over and over. This is not a one and done sort of thing. It's the same with your journey. We are creating over and over. We are supposed to be chasing and creating our desires over and over and over. It's what we're here to do. We're powerful creators. And so if you just think you're going to get your lineage changed in 1 week, 1 day, 1 year, I'm going to have to say to you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I have been on my path and I have been doing this inner work for 16 solid years, actually longer, but truly with my understanding of doing the work for 16 years. It's probably been going on more like 20 years because I started doing that, those writing that stuff down and making vision boards at least 20 years ago. And so if you begin today, then where will you be a year from now? If you step into those spaces where you know that you feel incomplete, where will you be a year from now? Where will you be a month from now if you start doing it? I see changes in people within 30, 60, 90 days, and I can see that and I witness that, and then I celebrate them. So for you, where in your life could you start making the changes to go after what you want and letting go of the things that don't serve you anymore, that are done serving you, that you are sick and tired of carrying around? You're sick and tired of carrying those heavy burdens. I call them a backpack of rocks, and you're tired of carrying around that fear. You're tired of carrying around that shame, that guilt, and you need to find those spaces within you, those shadows, the darkness, because the darkness can be turned into power. The darkness is something that in our world, in our society, we have learned to disregard, to not pay attention to. And the darkness can be a signal, a cue of something that we really need to look at, that we need to let go of, or that we need to embody and say, this is a part of me and I don't need it anymore. How can I let go of it? How can I shed it? What can I do to find the light within me? And so it's 12:31. I don't have any questions at this point, but just know that I will be on here every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time to answer your questions. Because as I said at the beginning of this, I want to help women. I do help women move from fear, isolation, desperation, lack of love for themselves. I help them move from that place into grounded confidence. And that is my life's purpose, and that's what I'm here to do, empower women and make them feel as though they matter and that you can do it. You can chase your dreams. You are capable. There is so much out there waiting for you, and we need you to rise. We need you to face everything and rise. We need more women stepping up and getting with other healthy women, other women who have goals, dreams, and desires. We need that in our world because we matter and we're important and we have work to do and we have leadership roles to step into and we're valuable. All of those things. That's what I want you to know. All of those things are important. So there's going to come a time and place where you're going to hear that call and that call isn't going to go away. So are you going to run from it or are you going to embrace it? Are you going to step into that space and say, I'm ready to face my fear. I'm ready to let go of this person, place, or thing that is done serving me, that has given me the lesson, and I'm ready to step into something else. And that's where I really help people too, is I really will help you. I will push you. I will push your edge to step into that space that you're afraid to step into. And I will be that person to kind of hold your hand and guide you. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you all are enjoying your life wherever you are in the world. Please join me every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And maybe since I changed my time, I won't have as many people at first, but that's okay. I'm going to continue to come on here and share my stories and share my confidence and share the reminders of how, I know who you are. I know what's capable, what's possible for you, what your potential is. I know it because it's in all of us. It is in all of us. And I'm going to have practical tools. One of the tools I shared with you today is start meditating. Start spending 5, 10, 15 minutes. And I know I have a video somewhere in my videos where you can learn to start meditating. It's very simple. And even just taking 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a massive 20 minutes, I would say, would be really good. A massive shift and a massive change in your life. So, thanks again for joining me. And I will look forward to connecting with you next Thursday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there, be square. And bring me your questions. Bring me your questions. What do you need help around? What do you need some coaching on? Because that's what I want to help you and I want to be in service to you on these lives. You've got a question, let me answer it. I would love to help. All right, everybody, remember to listen to your heart and love will always find you.